I always thought about harming myself.
I'm shy. I struggled with making friends.
I never thought I could do anything. I have extremely low self esteem.
Lately, I've been eating my pain away. Just throw it back up. I've been struggling to lose weight. Somebody said I don't fit in just because I wear my hair the way I like it.
1 out of 5 American girls suffer from mental health problems. Don't be that girl. Talk to someone.
Those thoughts I had are long gone, for I have a future I need to get to.
In order to get better, I had to do better. I learned how to make friends.
I believe in myself. That's when everyone else did, I set an example.
Instead of me eating everything, I started watching my calories. The weight is falling off.
I wanted to change my hair, but I decided it was for me. It's for me.
A PSA from the Curvy Girl Project.
Morning, I am Chief Silent Storm, and we are here, Expose Under the Sun. Detroit Native Sun is our sponsor. Valerie Lockhart is our producer and editor for the show, and I am so excited to have my special guest, Heather Rue. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you here. It's literally been 2 years since our seats were reversed.
Yes.
It was during Women's International Month, and I just want to shout out to Sharon Dumas, Dr. Sharon Dumas, for connecting us, and we just watched the commercial from Full and Fabulous, the Curvy Girls. So shout out to you girls and to you, Miss Dr. Dumas, for connecting us, because I adore this woman right here.
Oh, blessings.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you, and if you'll introduce what we're getting ready to do, it's pretty big. I'm excited for our topic, and it's not planned, but I know Spirit will take over and guide us to what we're supposed to share today.
Absolutely. I am Heather Rue. I'm a personal change coach. I'm the executive director of an organization called Encourage Me I'm Young, and I am a village elder. Yeah.
Amazing. So share about that. How did the walk to become an elder come about? You're chosen, so I know that walk was not always pretty, and so I know that is used for your work now and today.
Yes, I mean this. I've been on this particular journey that culminates on Friday, but it's actually a transition into a new season for all of us, for women, for mothers, and for grandmothers. We are in this amazing time, in this amazing season. And I know we are not the only ones that are on this wave of energy that is propelling us to move forward and to do things different, to make the difference and to be the change that we've been called to do. And so my calling has been about how do we envision, reimagine, and reestablish what our village looks like. And what was given to me is that the doors that we have come through, which is all the challenges, the obstacles, the experiences that we have, were doors that we came through. And those doors are closed behind us so that we don't go back or try to go back into what we've come from. And so this new dynamic, and everybody is feeling it to a different degree, but how it's propelling you to do what you've been called and positioned to do is a different matter.
Yeah.
And our goal is to help affirm that, confirm that, and wake and shake people awaken so that they can be in the right place at the right time. So we can't, because we can't go back, and we can't go back into old mindset either. And the more you try, the more difficult your journey is going to be.
And that's important. Mindset is everything. And there's a lot of people who want change, but they have the old mindset. And so they'll come to a plateau because it's still the old mindset. If you want new, you have to be new.
Right.
And so that's our work, my work too, mindset, focus. And in order for change, we have to talk about those difficult topics. And, for real change, we're literally boots to the ground. And we talk about those subjects that are taboo. And that's how we're really going to change. So I'm excited for this and the start of some real change.
Right. So Friday is the Women's Wholeness Summit. Yes. And almost 20 years ago, in the year 2024 will be 20 years for me doing this particular work. It started off with the Women's Wholeness Conference, and I was commissioned to go to 5 different states and gather and galvanize 2,000 women per state, and just to make them aware of how important, how valuable they are, and that this work was coming. And so, like I said, 2024 makes 20 years of me in this work. And as I think about that, as I celebrate all the women who I've reached and touched throughout this work, it's just amazing. And it's just amazing to see that.
It is.
The transformation for myself, the elevation, the process of change that we've all gone through, and where we have to go now.
Yeah. And for this past year of you and I working together, diligently every week, the women are coming out of the woodwork to support and just share their own gifts. So I'm excited that we've created a space for others like us to come together and have a space to be, because I know that was important for you too. After the Million Woman Walk, I think it was, you were speaking of.
Right.
There was a beautiful experience, but then there was nowhere for the women to go to get help or resources after. So Heather and I have created a space for that, which we'll be sharing soon, working out the kinks. But I'm really honored to be a part of that with you.
Thank you. And just your energy and your vision and how you've been positioned to do all these next level opportunities, Dr. Suzanne. It's
Thank you.
I mean,
guess
just
it's official now.
Right. Just imagine.
It's only been 1 year, it seems like, just being in the work with my new circle, because I had to manifest that. It was making up my mind after my father took his life. I didn't want it to be a stigma, so I was working on myself, and in the process, I wanted to leave other people in a better space. And so when I did that shift, my mindset shifted, but it was a purging season, so the people I thought that would be along for the ride disappeared naturally. And it was replaced with beautiful people like yourself. So it's now part of my walk to help others to get to that place too.
Yes. And so my work as an executive director for an organization called Encourage Me I'm Young, or EMI for short, EMIY. My work there is so amazing. And it's part of this next level of mothers and grandmothers. So my particular piece in that organization that I really enjoy is working with the mothers and grandmothers. So we come together under the term BOSS, which is Building Our Sons.
I love that.
And of course you would, Fearless Boss, right? and what we do 3 things. We address our self-care. We address our resources that we need, because everybody has a resource that they can always share and bring.
Sure.
And the third thing that we work together to do is to understand the changes that our sons and grandsons are going through in the program and how to support that at home.
Yes.
Because more than half of the mothers are single-headed households. So, or they don't have a male figure present.
Sure.
And so in our organization, as I step back, our mission of our organization is seeding in the lives of boys through mentoring, through guidance. But in our mission, our focus is the restoration of family.
Yes.
And we restore family through the boy.
Yes.
And I think that is such a dynamic place to start, because we work in intervention and prevention. And that's boys from 8 to 24.
Okay. That's important, because, as women, we will naturally gravitate to women empowerment, but it's a whole unit that needs the help. So
For sure.
I love that you're focusing. And shout out to Calvin Mann, Heather's husband, because he's right alongside of her doing the work. So shout out to you and your mission and assignment as well. We see you, we recognize you, and we just want to honor you as well.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
you definitely have a helpmate for sure.
Oh yes, I am one, and I have one,
Yes,
which
it's
is
amazing.
it is amazing, and it's no one but God that put us together.
Absolutely, and you could see that. You can see the way you both have admiration for each other, and I welcome you to come on the show, both of you.
Oh, that would
so
be
that we can have
awesome.
a different dynamic, a topic. But yeah, kudos to you both for listening to that calling and actually walking that out.
Yes,
because it
thank
shows,
you.
and this is definitely your time.
It absolutely is. So we're celebrating this month 4 years.
Wow,
On the 24th. So I'm super hyped about that, and just to take this journey with someone who is so passionate and someone who is so purpose driven. And what I was seeking was a God chaser. I needed somebody who was using God as their barometer, to show the direction. This is his compass.
Yes.
And his vision is the work that he
Yes.
does in that direction. So it has been a blessing to be inspired every day by somebody who's really walking it out.
Yes, and it shows. Like, both of you are in each other's purpose, and I think that's what makes a difference in a marriage, is that, when one is following their calling and then the other one just is sort of floating by in life, it doesn't work. But if you're in each other's purpose, God will guide that and kind of cultivate that and equip you both to support each other, and I see that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And what we have in common is that both of us have been married. This is our third marriage together. So we've both been married twice before. And we
3
both have
times the
children.
charm.
Oh, yes. We had children prior to our marriage.
Okay.
And we have a blended family. And so for those who are married and getting there, one of the strategies that we use to help strengthen our marriage and strengthen our work is that we actually fast the first 7 days of the month.
Okay.
So whatever fast we're called to, we graft other people in. We fast and pray for other people, and for this work that we're all doing collectively. But there are people who need that extra.
Oh, for
And
sure.
how we have been working through our family, our blending of our families, working with, having previous spouses, and we pray for them as well. We fast and pray for our
Oh,
spouses
we need
too.
that.
Yes.
It's not easy.
It's not
and
easy.
then the dynamic of blended family, with yours, you wouldn't even know because you've blended beautifully. But for those who need the tools, how would they be a part of what you and Calvin do?
Well, honestly, that would be the first step. Kind of understanding what the differences are. Of course, when you have children by other parents, right, their allegiance really is to the other parent.
Sure.
And that's good, bad, right, or wrong. So the second thing that we have to do is remove judgment and blame. So what happened in our past relationships, we don't carry that forward. We use it as life lessons.
Sure.
What did we learn from those relationships? And then and releasing all the blame and the guilt and the shame that goes with that, and goes with having to divorce a person, separate yourself, divide yourself from a person. So that would be the second thing. The second tool is to remove the judgment.
Yeah, that's important. And to be able to work and co-parent with the others
Yes.
is important too.
Yes,
because
that's
it
the
is
third
about the
thing.
children, but it's the emotions that might be attached to why they're not together, or, to kind of co-parent. You will have to be able to remove that, because it is for, to be able to upbring your children in the right ways.
Right.
They definitely need the support of both parents, both parties, and the extended family as well.
Yes, for sure. So the third thing exactly would be your ability to co-parent. And co-parenting really is just being able to extend the love that you have for your mate, your partner, to their children.
Absolutely.
And then finding that space where you can love them, where that love can be seeded and grow. Because you're up against, sometimes you're up against resentment and disrespect and all the things that come along with
Yes.
being a step parent, or and a step mom.
Yes.
All the things that go along with that. So once you find the one thing that you love about that person, or you can grow to love or grow into, that seed, you keep nurturing that seed and grow in that relationship with them from there.
Yes, we definitely need more topics like this too. There's so many things you could mention, parenting styles, and it's all going to be different, but it's just having that common goal to nurture your child, to make them into sustainable adults.
Yes.
And, it's a challenge.
It is a challenge. I'm not saying
Yes.
it's easy.
Yes.
But I think that as we move and as we mature, things happen with ease. Not easy, it's a difference, but things start to happen with ease, especially when you're purpose driven and you're coming from a place of love.
Yes.
So you have to sometimes step back, take a deep breath, and clear out all of the garbage and the trash and the messages that are misunderstood, and be quick to apologize.
Yes.
You have to be quick to apologize.
I'm learning that. Heather coaches me personally, so she's amazing at what she does, but it's definitely work. When you want change, you have to be open, transparent, and willing to learn new tools to help you. But you just have to be willing to be the better person sometimes, and, admit wrongs, or, just make those rights. But the willingness to put in the work is key.
That
sure.
is it. Put in the work.
Because it's definitely work.
And right, this is not easy. This is not for the faint of heart.
No.
Marriage is not for the faint of heart.
And it's
Your
a
purpose
different-
walk is not for the faint of heart.
No.
Raising children is not for the faint of heart.
It is not, especially when you have your assignments. When it's purpose driven, it's definitely that much harder. But thankfully, we're creating a space where we have more support, more tools to be encouraged, inspired, and to just have that network of people who are going through the same things, who are same mindset even. And I'm excited for that.
I love the fact that we call it spiritual minds.
Yes.
That's such a powerful. Oh, yes. I really
So
would
I
like
guess
to talk
this
about
is
it.
our first debut, right?
Right.
So Heather and I have come up with Spiritual Minds. It's a what would you call that network?
It's part of the movement, but it is where it lands. So this is the substance space that it lands in. So this is the entry point, or the gateway is the app.
Yes.
And so once you tie into the app, it opens up your world and our world together that we share, and how we can connect, and how we can learn, and how we can grow, and how we can be encouraged, and where that wisdom is coming from. So all of that wrapped up in a space that starts with an app.
Yes, and so we do have the Wise Women Council. So there are our professional leaders and masterclass teachers. It's a university. It's all of the above. You get your spiritual nourishment in this app and group network. We encourage other business owners and any other persons that have a spiritual or just even a calling to be a part of this movement, because we're actually about our work. And it shows. It shows in our lives, and how things are moving, especially people wanting to help us. We're always looking for sponsors, but it's a different season or different time this season.
It is. And I just want to just encourage our mothers, our grandmothers, that what you have been doing is not in vain, but two, this is a different season. So the tools that we need for this season are not the same tools that we used in the past.
Definitely not.
And so as we're growing into this work together, when I mentioned the doors that have to be closed, sometimes the old mindsets are doors that have to be closed. And one of the mindsets that has to be closed is that we use our upbringing and our experiences only as the gateway to what we do with our young people. So I just want to just quickly mention, because I've been in this study, because the boys in our program are from 8 to 24. So they're kind of crossing a generation right now who is on the scene, who is rising and on the scene is Generation Alpha. And so Generation Alpha is pretty much our young people who are under 17. So a little bit 18 and under, they're kind of in that age group. And this generation is right now, or in 2024, is predicted to reach 2.2 billion people.
Wow, incredible.
Just in this particular generation. And they're not even done. Like, they're not even done in terms of producing more children. And so we have to recognize that both Generation Alpha, Generation Z, we talk a lot about how they use technology and are dependent on technology. We have to understand that Generation Alpha technology is an extension but they're not dependent on it. Generation Z is a lot more dependent on technology. That's why when you try to take their cell phones or get them off of a video game, they turn violent. Often they turn violent, and there's so many more that are violent versus those who give it up peacefully.
Sure.
But we have to be mindful that we cannot take something that is a piece of somebody. And the more you try to take it, you put them on defense, and that's what we do. But we are still thinking in our old mindset. We don't see it as essential, as important as it is to them, because it's not as important to us. So that's a mindset that we have to start to shift and leave behind.
It's
behind
not a
those closed
punishment
doors.
tool.
Right.
Taking away the electronics should
No.
not be. That's the old mindset.
That's the old mindset. So we have to use new tools. And one of the other aspects of Generation Alpha that was a surprise to me to learn is that they are aware and they are concerned about their mental wellness. Like they are dealing with their own stress, and they are talking about their stress. These are young people. When you ask them, how do you feel, they actually say something.
They do. It's not like our generation or even our parents.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
That's my phrase. But yeah, if they want to talk about it. So we have to have those things in place for the children to come forth to be able to navigate through those emotions, because there's a lot going on in this world.
It's a lot happening. It's a lot happening, and it's transitioning, and it's transforming, and there's very little room for old mindsets in that space. So once your door is closed and you've been introduced to these new generations, it's time to actually introduce yourself to this new generation. I'm not saying not to set boundaries and not to set expectations, but I'm saying that you have to do that in partnership with them, not as the authority over them, because that is not what they respond to, and that's not what we taught them to do.
No.
We taught them these things. We put them in front of the TV and in front of the computer to entertain while we were doing something else as a distraction. We didn't realize the person that would be crafted by our actions, because it seems so innocent. It seems so, just stay occupied while I make dinner, or stay occupied while I work from home, or whatever that situation was. That we were set up to do to keep them occupied. So it kind of backfired on us a bit.
Sure did. And then now in schools, they have computers that they're sitting in front of. So all of their coursework is, click a tab, and, the teacher may just oversee them, but they're in front of the computers all the time, or tablets. So.
Right. So it's a part of them, not just a social tool for them.
And they need it to, for transportation. Uber's on an app. Everything's on an app. Banking, Cash App, all of these things that they actually need. So it's not a thing that you could just garnish away for punishment anymore.
Right.
It's essential.
It's essential. So that piece in terms of how we're growing. And then another area that mothers and grandmothers, women mothers and grandmothers also need to step up on is how we are addressing our men and our boys. Men have to raise men and boys.
Yes.
And we as women, because we have this amazing skill of organization and professionalism and capacity, just because we have the capacity to do it doesn't mean that it's ours to do.
Sure.
And so, as a mother of a 16-year-old, I don't have the capacity to raise a man.
Yes.
I don't. And my efforts, if I didn't have men in his life, my efforts alone would have produced another me. Our efforts as mothers, we can't produce another man.
No.
We can only produce a woman. And so we pour ourselves into our raising techniques, not realizing that we're raising based on the skill set that we have. That's why men have to raise men and boys have to raise boys. And we're seeing the results of women raising men in the young men that we see now. They're highly emotional, much like
And I have
mom.
3 boys, so I can attest to that.
Right.
I I tried. And I also knew that I couldn't raise men. They're 26, 25, and 22 now, but I knew the importance of putting them in sports or getting a sensei, for taekwondo and those things, to have a male figure to show them those male emotions that I couldn't, no matter how much I tried
Right.
produce. They're like, Mom, what?
Right. And as they get older, we're seeing a lot of the resentment for not having that male figure. So the process that I was talking about when we're talking about co-parenting, and we're talking about removing the judgment from previous marriages for me and relationships, that was critical. That's critical, because I need to go to him to say, here's your son.
Yes.
Spend time. And there are differences in how women raise boys versus how men raise boys.
Absolutely.
And the differences are sometimes very difficult for me as a mom. I'll speak for myself. It's difficult for me to watch and hear, because you should do it with sensitivity, and you should be nurturing. You shouldn't have to just, don't be so aggressive and forceful.
And the tone, watch your tone.
Oh, watch your tone. That's a good one. You should talk to him like that. That's my son, or that's my child, that's my baby.
Yes.
That terminology, our words are power. And if we keep referring to our growing sons as babies, guess what we're putting on them?
We're enabling them.
We are enabling them, absolutely. Yes. So, this new season that we're in, we have to be ready for what comes with it.
Absolutely. And we'll definitely be diving into more topics like this, because that's how we're going to actually change, is through having these conversations and equipping people. We only have a couple minutes left, but I just want to show gratitude to you and Calvin for all that you do. I appreciate your works and just having the friendship that we have. I appreciate that, and I love and adore you.
Oh, blessings. Thank you.
So in closing, if you want to, share more about the event Friday, or your website, how to get a hold of you or Calvin.
Okay, so I'll start with Encourage Me I'm Young. Please visit our website. We are at www.emmyworld.com. We also have an apparel company, which the brand is part of the work that we're doing. So when you see the Emmy brand and Emmy apparel brands, please make sure you have yours, because this is another visual way that we can buy in together with a new mindset. So encouragement is the best tool to raise a child. So we need for you to have your gear and make sure your children have their gear. So you can reach us there at emmyapparel.com. And for our to learn more about your inspired journey, personal change coach, and or our summit, our women's summit, because there'll be more information on the website as we continue to take this journey together. So you can reach me there at yourinspiredjourney.com. And so those are ways that you can reach us. And you can reach me directly by phone. You can reach me at 313-759-7855. Again, that's 313-759-7855.
Awesome. And in closing, what words of inspiration would you have for someone, either transitioning into their calling or just in general?
Your purpose is going to make the way for you. If you do your part, you take one step and let God multiply those steps. Start. Don't wait. Start.
Amen. Yes. And start it with what you have, not where you want to be, because
Right.
you'll grow into that. But it's important to get around like-minded people, networks. You can find myself, fearlessminds.com. We have Instagram and Facebook. So get connected to us. We have a lot of resources and community partners to support. So feel free to reach out to us. And if you want to be on the show as a guest, you can reach us at 313-868-0342. Stay tuned. We will be, we're live, but we will be posting the edited version. And Darwin Griffin will be with you next week. So thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed our episode. And thank you again, Heather, for being on our show.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here at the Full and Fabulous Curvy Girl Project, we don't just focus on health, beauty, and self-esteem. We also offer an amazing summer program for young ladies ages 12 to 18. For more information, visit our website at fullandfabulous.org. See you soon.